Fire Banter, and we're back. We got a very magical episode coming at you this week. Pun intended. We have a few faces you've seen before. We have one new. We're going to start over here with Jess Brown. She's back out. She's dressed to the theme tonight. Look at this. Perfect, yeah.
Yep.
We do want to give a shout out to Bob James. Bob's Magic and Oddities over there in Lombard. He came out tonight. Ran a couple technical difficulties. He had to jump off. He had to go. He had an engagement that he got a new gig over at his place, so he had to get back over there. So happy for Bob. Stuff's opening back up. He's seeing some business again. He's getting some shows over there. So good for you, Bob. Hopefully we'll get you back out. I want to get into Bob's shop with a camera, maybe do a little tour around his facility there. He's got some pretty cool stuff. Check him out. He's on St. Charles Road in Lombard, right in the downtown area. We have Mr. Nick Green out here tonight for the first time. Thank you for coming out here, Nick. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. This was another successful Craigslist ad that was sent out, and we've only had good results.
Yep.
We actually never had anyone show up from Craigslist that was like what you would think you might get from Craigslist. So it's and just get to talk to you for an hour or a half hour or so already. I know we've struck gold again. So thanks for being back out, man.
Happy to be here.
Or being here for the first time. But and then Richie is back. We got the fire guy. He's been at weddings and stuff. This guy is so busy lately. Jeez Louise, I can't believe we got him out here. He's just got party after party. This guy is having a good summer for himself. But so Nick, we were kind of talking when you first got into magic. It wasn't recently. It was kind of a long time ago, right?
Yeah, it was as a kid. A magician performed at a school assembly.
Okay.
And I told my parents I really wanted the exact trick I saw for Christmas, and they got me like something else, which I really liked. It was like a magic box with like hidden flaps, and you put in a card and you change it to another card. And I kind of fell out of it in high school and college.
Okay.
And then the pandemic hits, and I needed something to like do instead of like going out and doing things.
Yeah.
And like I started studying and reading. And then more recently, I got into like mind reading, which is mentalism is a branch of magic.
Yeah,
it's a lot of what I like to do is like propless mentalism. Today, I'll be doing something a bit later with a deck of cards.
Okay, cool.
Be something I think everyone's really gonna like.
We're looking forward to it. So Richie, this is something new. Me and Rob are talking about. But what's your favorite sandwich? Yeah, sandwich.
Out in Carroll Stream. Place is called Augustino's.
Augustino's.
Rock and Roll Deli.
And what is it called, the sandwich you like?
It's an Italian sub.
Say no more. Italian sub.
Absolutely delicious.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the answer.
Yeah.
Jess, what is your favorite color and why?
My favorite color is black. I don't know why. I've just always liked it.
You don't know why. You just kind of like it.
Yep.
Okay. I should have given the green mic actually to Nick Green. That would have made so much sense. You might need to sub this.
Is it too late to switch?
I don't know. I don't know that it is. I mean, we're pretty informal here.
No, it's true. Well, it's up to you.
So, what is your favorite beer to drink, Nick?
Oh, me. Great question. Actually, I used to really like Newcastle. I gave a beer.
Yeah.
I gave a beer back in 2014. Right now, I drink a lot of cider. My favorite cider is Vandermill. It's brewed in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So we've got one called Totally Roasted. That's
Totally
my favorite
Roasted.
cider.
Okay.
But before that, when I did drink beer, I was not discriminating.
Yeah, just pretty much anything that you get your hands on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Truly
That's
that.
typical how you first start drinking. It's what do you have in the fridge? Does it have alcohol in it? Yes, I will drink it. So back onto the magic theme here. Jess, I know that you went to York like I did, and Richie did as well. Do you both, actually, to both of you, do you remember Bob's Magic Shop? Do you remember going there as a kid?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me one of your earliest memories of like going in there, or anything maybe you bought from there, or any memories you have of Mr. Bob.
Sure. I went to Hawthorne Elementary School in Elmhurst, and they had a assembly where a magician came out and did a bunch of tricks for the school, and I was in second grade. And I was just like blown away by what this magician did. And I went right home and I told my dad, like, we need to get a magic kit because I'm going to be a magician.
Yeah.
Like, it's what I'm going to do.
You were ready.
And so he was like, say no more. And he took me to Bob's Magic Shop on First and York in Elmhurst.
Yep.
It's not there anymore, but that's where it was. And we picked out this kit. And like, I went home and tried the tricks. And I am a terrible performer, but I do still love magic.
Yeah.
I can't put on a show to save my life, except
I don't
for
know,
my
I've heard you
parents
sing
when I'm eight.
karaoke before. I've heard the karaoke.
But I don't do tricks when I do that.
That's true.
Yeah.
The trick is sounding so goddamn good. Yeah, it's
Justin's a very good singer, by the way.
Oh, thanks,
I would
Richie.
Like to, add that in there.
But anyway, so I went to his shop a couple times over the years and got different trick kits, like sleight of hand stuff and
Okay.
decks of cards and the rings that you put together and take apart. And
yeah.
so yeah, I actually am familiar with it. And when we were going to have him out on the podcast, that was really exciting because
Yeah.
it was like he's legendary in Elmhurst,
Yeah.
especially to kids.
That's why he
So-
didn't understand why I wanted him on the show tonight. He's just like, I'm not a good interviewer. I don't do a lot of interviews. Like, usually I put somebody who works with me and I'll have them interview whoever wants to talk. And I'm like, we don't really want to interview you. I'm like, it's just everyone that, a lot of people watch the show are local. I'm like, everyone that grew up in Elmhurst knows Bob's Magic Shop.
Yeah.
We all went in there for stink bombs and,
Fake cigarettes.
bomb bags and everything else. And you go in there and get your little tricks and fool your friends. I remember getting a fake golf ball that exploded when you hit it, and I bought that from Bob's Magic Shop. I definitely liked to prank people as a kid, so
Yeah.
that was my thing. But I was trying to tell Bob, I'm like, yeah, we just want you out because you're like a local legend.
Right.
Like everybody knows you.
And the podcast
So-
is all about like having people share their stories. That's
Yeah.
a story I want to hear. I want to know more about Bob from Bob's
Exactly,
Magic
and I
Shop.
got to know him a little bit the last couple of times talking to him, and it's a shame that he wasn't able to stay a little longer. But again, it's awesome that he was got a gig and he's getting paid to go do a show at his place.
Yeah, good for
So
him.
can't hate on the guy for hustling.
Right.
But as far as like when I was talking to him, I realized that this guy is a lifer. He's like, he knows the history of magic, and he's like telling me little stuff. Like he had told me this little story about Houdini that recently they're actually trying to go test Houdini's body still because there's a new theory out right now that's saying that he didn't die of getting punched in the stomach or he didn't
Yeah.
die by hitting his side. They actually think that there was a group of, and I think it was like clairvoyants or kind of like mentalists that he was trying to talk to his mother for a long period of time, and like
Houdini was?
mediums. It was mediums, not mentalists. Sorry, mediums.
Okay.
And these mediums would tell him that we could talk to your mother, but I guess Rob is actually filling me in on this part that before Houdini's mother died, they had like a code word because it was something that they had talked about of like maybe after you pass we'll be able to talk in the afterlife, and if we do, this is the word, this is the magic word, and if they don't say that, then it's bullshit. And he went to medium after medium and said, oh, we're talking to your mother, blah, blah, blah. And it was bullshit. And he would actually start to get a team of people together. So when he'd go to these like readings, that he would have people scoping out the outside to like look for wiretaps and cameras and stuff. Because that's how some of these guys are doing their tricks, So what they say now, at least the new theory that why they're trying to look back into this case was because they think it was like this association of mediums that might have poisoned him.
What?
So it's like a whole new theory, and it's kind of like it's fresh. It's like happening right now, like based on technology we have now. I guess they could go in there and take that body that's been gone for a long time and find some kind of evidence on how this guy really truly died, which I was like blew me away. I'm like,
Wow.
this is still a question, like on how this guy, most famous magician of all time, like
We studied it
died?
in school. Like there was a whole unit on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the only magician you learned about.
Right.
Like when you learn about Matt, he goes, Houdini.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I also believe I do share a birthday with Harry Houdini. I believe it's March 24th. I believe he has the same birthday as me. I don't know. Young Michael,
can
you
we
can
get a
check that.
confirmation on that?
Hey, can we find Harry Houdini's birthday? March 24th, right? How quick was that? Shit.
Pretty good.
1874. So we're only a few years off. He's only a couple years old.
Look at that. Yeah.
1874? Really? Holy
Yeah.
crap. How old was he when he
Long time
died?
ago.
Because I didn't realize 1874. I don't think about.
I don't
Right.
think
Yeah.
he was that old, to be honest with you. I
No,
think
he
could
was
have been
young.
Maybe in his
Yeah.
40s or 50s.
He's 52.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
relatively
So you're
young.
talking he was like, he died like 25 or some shit? Or I don't do quick math. Okay. 26? I just, in my mind's eye, when I hear about Harry Houdini, it seems like 40s, 50s, like a little later than the fucking 20s.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild to me, just
Yeah.
hearing that. I guess I didn't realize the timeline on all that.
True.
What do you, when you look into...
Can
you
I
know-
ask a quick question?
Yeah, go.
Well, I just was curious about Richie's experience with Bob's
Thank you
Magic
for going
Shop.
back to that, because he did say he knew it.
Well, I used to go there and buy stink bombs and the fake cigarettes and, terrorize the halls of York High School with the fart bombs and all that,
That sounds like you,
the
Richie.
common shenanigans that any
You're always
skateboard heavy metal punk would do,
Yeah.
when they were a teenager. That's what I was all into. So.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, the Bob from Bob's Magic Shop, super nice guy.
So you talked to him a few times, you remember?
He was a big metalhead too. So
Was he?
when I walked in, I
Too
was
bad
wearing
you
a
weren't here.
Megadeth T-shirt. And he was like, dude, Megadeth rules. I'm like, well, yeah.
That's cool.
So we,
It's always the quiet ones.
Right. I saw his black
was
fingernail
cool.
polish today. I was like, oh, this guy.
He
He rocks.
see his like skeleton hand belt buckle too.
That was
thing
really
was bad.
cool.
That thing was cool. I was like, dude, this guy is full in character.
We always know
Like,
our own
She
kind.
was ready to do a stand-up trick, and we were like running out of time. I was like, dang it. So we'll get him back out. We'll go out there. Nick's gonna have to make another appearance, I think, at some point. We're gonna have
Happy to.
We're gonna have to redo this one. Maybe get a full panel of you guys and get some magicians out here and really have at it. Maybe we'll do a little AGT of our own. See
yeah.
what happens.
I'm
but,
curious to know more about Nick.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to know more about this mentalism, medium,
Sure,
like mind
yeah.
reading.
Why does that part of magic get you excited?
That's a great question, and to me, it just seems more believable.
Yeah.
Like I could take $1 bill and it's to me, it doesn't seem possible that you could take a $1 bill and change it to a $5 bill.
Yeah.
But I'm sure everyone here has been in a situation where you're at a bar and you finish your drink and your friend's like, oh, are you gonna get another drink or something like that? And yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
So everyone's had an
Gotcha.
experience where someone has seemingly read their mind.
Gotcha.
So it seems like it's just more believable. Like
I get you.
Yeah.
that's why I like
And
that
again,
sort of thing.
I was telling you this a little bit off screen, but for me, what kind of brought magic back into the forefront of my mind was America's Got Talent. And watching some of these guys, and there was a guy that won it not too long ago.
Shin
Asian
Lim?
guy. Yes. Shin Lee?
Shin Lim.
Okay, yeah, you probably know better than I do. But he was like sleight of hand and like wild shit. They'd have like the camera right up on him and like making like coins disappear just with like a wave of a hand and like things, and it's like right up on it. It's like, dude, how are you doing this?
Yeah, exactly.
It was amazing, and he won the whole season. He was like, he's come back a couple of times. I think he did pretty good, and they brought like some all-stars back in and did like an all-star season. I think he finished like second or third in that one even. But yeah, Shen Lim, yeah, something like that. So you know
That's
for
it?
sure, Shen?
Yes, I'm certain of
Yes,
it.
you're certain, okay?
Right, I've been.
I keep feeling like I think he's.
I feel like he'd know.
no,
Yeah.
I know.
I've
I know.
seen I've been watching a lot of YouTube and other magic videos, and he's featured in a lot of them.
Yeah,
and
he's a
lot
hot name right now in the magic game for sure.
Exactly.
Because only a couple of years ago that he won that.
Yeah, it's
2018
still
or
pretty
something
fresh.
like that. It wasn't that long.
Yeah, I do. I think that sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay. So as far as kind of the stuff you'd like to do, I've seen a couple. I think it was Instagram posts. I was looking at yours.
All right.
You were doing some stuff on the street during COVID. You had the full mask on, but you were still doing some like card
Right.
tricks and stuff.
Yes, that's true. So I been hanging out with my neighbors over the pandemic. They had a party they would host every Saturday. Not a party.
A get together.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. My partner.
Within your bubble,
Right. Yes.
and you're following all the governor's rules.
of course. There was social distancing.
We were all yes.
It was
So were we.
It was great. And I just, had time to practice. There's actually a couple of friends of mine that my partner Gene introduced me to.
Okay.
And I started performing for them while at the event on Saturday.
Hey, that's a captive audience.
Right, yeah.
They sit there every week, seeing you get better and stuff, and like
Exactly.
growing with it. Yeah.
And Chris, one of the neighbors, started also performing magic. And
cool.
his fiance Liz got him the cups and balls routine for
Yeah.
Christmas. And it just was a really fun time and a way to have a goal and something I was working towards every week to see
Absolutely.
what's the new effect I'll try to do this upcoming Saturday to amaze them.
It's a similar story to this show, but yeah, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, they're both born of COVID.
Yeah, it's exactly right. It's exactly what we were doing. Do you and the other guy that got started in it, do you guys compete at all now?
Not
Did
really.
he fall off a little bit on it?
He still performs.
Okay.
I showed him an effect the other week, and he's like, "Nick, on my wedding day, you have to teach me that."
Oh,
I
cool.
said, yeah, no
Okay.
problem. I'd happily do
Sweet.
that.
So you guys are still he's still going at it. He didn't fall off.
Right. He didn't.
nice.
There
Okay.
was recently an article in the New York Times about the most impossible card trick, which is called any card at any number.
Okay.
And he forwarded me that article, and I was able to read it. It was really interesting.
Really? Okay.
And
Any card, any number.
yes.
That's crazy.
It's a great effect, and in the effect, the person Di Vernon created it, and it's known as the no, that's not it. The Berglas created it. It's called the Richard Berglas effect. And what he says is he goes to anyone. He says, "Hey, name a card in the deck." The person names a card, and then he says, "Name a number," and the person names a number. There's a deck of cards that's been on the table the whole time. And David Berglas, that's it. Sorry.
There you
David
go.
Berglas
Yeah.
says, okay, there's this deck that's been here the entire time.
Yeah.
I want you to take the cards out of the deck, deal face up from the top, and count. And whatever card that person says is at the number they also said. So if you say King of Hearts 17, like you deal 17 cards, the 17th card would be the King of Hearts. And the magician doesn't touch the deck the entire time.
Wow.
It truly
Crazy.
is a magical effect. I did it for Liz and Chris and Jean over the pandemic, and it was
Hey, and you got this one in the bag of tricks here?
perfect. I have something similar, like something that's just as unbelievable.
We're going to take you up on it
that I
here in a
really
moment.
Yeah.
So, Richie, as far as what you've seen and stuff, do you have like a thing that maybe you saw on TV or like a favorite trick you've ever seen or like blew your mind?
The old quarter out of the back of the ear trick is
That one,
Yeah,
you're like, God, how did that happen?
I still don't know that.
winning a game of blackjack is always a good one too.
Right.
I'm not very magical myself by any means, but
Well,
I think you're super
appreciate-
I think
You're
everyone has a bit of
magical to
magic in them.
I appreciate
Like,
the fine arts of it. I mean, I really do. I mean,
Yeah?
I think it's very interesting, to be honest. Yeah,
There's a lot of psychology that goes into it too. Is it?
it's a mental game.
It really is.
think it
I mean,
is,
a lot of
It's
it,
all
from what
it's
I
a
know,
mind
and
fuck, I
I'm
mean,
definitely not saying I'm an expert by any means, but they always say, it's like the magician's doing something with his hand that he's not making you look at. It's with the motions and trying to get your eyes diverted in locations that they want. Nothing's done on accident, kind of thing. It's like everything's done for a purpose, and there's a reason I got you looking over here because right over here something else is happening. And it's weird because that's psychology more than anything else to me. Is that how do you know everyone's following you? And then it works on a whole audience of people.
It's
Yeah.
all in your head, man.
That's what I'm saying. But if you know the
literally,
psychology of these
it's a
things,
mind
like,
screw.
yeah.
It really
That's
is.
what I love about it. Is that,
Right.
like
Yeah.
I love feeling like I look at guys like you and these guys in AGT that like, do some of the stuff. I'm like, I try to pick some of this shit apart. I watch
Right.
it and I'm like, what's the trick
Right.
here? I can figure it out. I'm real skeptical. I see a guy in the street do something. I'm like, what's going on there? But I love being tricked. I love it. It's such a great feeling to be like, I really honestly don't know how the hell you did that. So I think that's a decent lead. And do you feel good about doing something right now?
yeah, absolutely.
You're cool?
Yeah,
You got
sure.
the deck of cards?
I do.
Hey, Mike, let's definitely make sure we got his tight angle here. Zoom all the way in. Use all of our zoom.
So there's a bar in Chicago called The Lodge. That's where these cards are from.
Nice.
Actually, I'd like you to cut the cards.
Okay.
Anywhere you like.
Is up's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now, right now, the two of clubs is on top. And like before I left my house, there's no way I could have known the two of clubs would be on top.
Absolutely.
Like there's no way anyone here would have known.
Yeah.
Now I'd like you to cut the cards again, just to like get some practice.
Yeah.
cutting the cards.
Hang on a second here. I'm already feeling weird about what
So now,
I'm already feeling weird about what just happened there.
so now the queen.
You caught that? Okay.
So now the Queen of Hearts is on top.
You, man.
Yes.
And like
I think the first card I saw was the Queen of Hearts.
I
Right.
think
I
so.
cut it to the two. and then
That's all the cards are different. That was just chance. What I want you to do is cut the cards one more time.
okay.
Just to get
This time.
yeah,
Okay.
great.
I can hold that.
Hold this. Get these out of here. Okay.
Okay,
So
everybody
now we're
just
sitting
watch
here.
Now-
this.
We got the four of spades on top.
Mm-hmm.
No one could have known that would happen.
Yes. Absolutely not.
So behind your back, I'm not gonna look. No one's gonna look. I want you, or maybe that'll work. Yeah. So cut the cards behind your back.
Okay. And you want me to hold them into 2 different piles?
Cut them and complete the cuts behind your back.
Okay. Hit the cuts.
I'm gonna check and make sure he's not cheating.
No, I want this to be real more than anyone. And not the,
So you've cut them
I
successfully.
said it twice. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Now
Don't
take
drop 'em.
right. Now take either the top or the bottom card and take
Okay.
it out of the deck.
Okay.
You've done that?
Yes.
All right. Now turn the card upside down.
I don't know if I'm upside down. I can't see it.
So it should be like
the back.
Got the blue facing
Oh.
out. So yeah.
Okay.
all right. So put the card you just took out somewhere in the middle of the deck.
Okay. Behind my back still?
Behind your back still,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
And let's bring out the deck and put it on the table.
Okay.
All right. So I want the whole card sweeps.
Okay. Gotcha.
So right now,
We're trying.
yeah, you're doing great.
We're not trained assistants.
So have this deck of cards. You cut it a few times.
Yes.
So it was, standard deck from the ledge. You took out a card. You put it upside down in the middle of the deck.
Oh, I don't know if I put it upside down in the middle of the deck. We might have to do this again. I thought I was just pull it and put it back in.
You're right.
Yeah, I can redo this.
Yeah.
I can be quick.
Sure.
I didn't know we were supposed to reverse these. Okay, you ready? Is
Right.
that cool?
Yeah, go ahead.
We can still go. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll cut one, I'll pull one, and then I'll put it back upside down.
Yeah, cut it and take either card from the top or the bottom.
Gotcha.
And put that upside down in the middle of the deck.
Okay.
Do you want me to watch him?
No, I got it now. I got it
Okay.
now. Now I know where we're going here. I got this.
I mean, how
got
can
it.
he cheat when the cards are behind his back?
Right, yeah, I don't even know what's happening. Like,
Yeah, we
Okay.
really can't see him.
Okay. And you want them up?
yes, sure.
Boom. I got it. I got it. Did it right this time.
Great.
We're good.
So there's some random
good.
card in the middle of the deck, upside down.
Yes.
You
there
don't
is.
know what it is. I don't know what it is.
No, I have no
There's
idea.
no way anyone in the world can know what it is.
Precisely.
Yeah. You're not going to believe this. Before I left my house, I actually took a deck of cards.
Oh my. Okay.
I did the same exact thing. So, should be a card in here.
Show it to the camera once you start doing this.
Right, yeah, of course.
Got one there.
I can do that.
Center camera?
All right.
Okay.
One second. I know I did this right. All right.
We'll give you another shot.
So there's one
If you
card
get this ever. So
that's upside down in the deck that I did this before. When I did it, I took the bottom card.
I took the top one
Wow, look at that.
just to tell you. This would blow my freaking mind away.
So in this deck,
Okay.
there's one card that's upside down.
This will kinda-
Why don't you go ahead and
No.
flip your card, the Lodge card.
5 of diamonds.
Huh. Go ahead and flip the card I had too.
Okay.
So he did the 5 of diamonds. And let's take a look.
And that's next card.
The 5 of diamonds also.
Oh my.
You see that?
Wow.
Dude.
So
No, this is
there you go.
Impressive.
I did it twice.
Thank you.
Twice
Thank you very
behind my
much.
back.
Thank you.
With
Twice
different
behind my
cards.
back. I messed it up the first time. You guys, this is the real deal here. I did not. There was no tomfoolery going on there.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad you liked it.
Wow. And I butchered it at first.
You did great.
Dude.
Some people have done worse, believe me.
Wow. Wow.
Thanks.
Cool. I like
That was
am
really
cool.
cool.
I am
So
pretty
much.
impressed.
That's cool.
Dude, those are the kinds of things.
Yeah.
How the hell could
I've got
you have done
one.
that?
Yeah,
How?
it's magic. That's how.
It's space magic.
Like that's
Maybe.
the only explanation.
Here's a callback for you. guys.
Thank you.
So, okay. So you gotta tell me about this one. You don't have to tell me. I don't want you to tell me how you do it, but why did this one allure you? Why? How did you learn? Did you learn this off of a video? Did someone teach you? How did that one come to be?
Well, without getting too much into it, there's a
fine,
principle
yeah.
in magic that I learned over the pandemic. And I saw there's a YouTube channel I follow called Conjurer Community.
Okay.
I'm not in any way associated with it. I'm not sponsored by it or anything like that. And what they
You're
do,
part of it though, as a group. Yeah.
well, yeah, I am part of the Conjurer Community, but
Yeah.
what they do is they take performances of famous magicians from like the 1980s and 90s, and they like critique the performance. They say, "Oh yeah, ooh." They don't reveal the secrets on the
Yeah.
channel, but they're
Which
like,
they
"Oh,
shouldn't. I
yeah."
think
They're like,
that's probably the best, right?
exactly. If you are a paid member of the channel, you do get like the after show. But there was a famous magician who performed that exact effect, and it uses a particular method that I learned over the pandemic.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, I could do that with no issue whatsoever.
Gotcha.
And like,
It seems like there should be a lot of issues with that.
right.
Should be some issues.
Yeah, well, it
What
is
just occurred there?
impossible, but it's like someone who like plays baseball or something. Like you may see a play or see something like, oh, hey, I can incorporate that into my baseball play or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. No,
So-
absolutely. I mean, growing up, I was a football player, and
Mm-hmm.
I literally learned everything I wanted to be about football before I really started really playing football.
Mm.
You know, I kind of knew who I wanted to be before I actually really was that.
Sure.
You know,
Right.
I modeled it after before I really even started playing. So I could totally see that. It makes sense. And again, that was what kind of struck my curiosity when I sent that out on Craigslist, just trying to get anyone doing maybe some sleight of hand or something like that. When you said like mentalism and stuff like that, I was like, that is the one part of magic for me that lately I've
That
been
we don't
feeling is
really
like is the most, attractive. It's the one that gets me most intrigued.
Right.
And I think again, it's the EGT thing. Is I've seen some people do some pretty crazy mind reading stuff that is unexplained. Like I
Yeah.
can't explain it.
That's
And you want to know a funny little thing that I've been telling Rob and the crew for the last couple of months since I'd known you were going to come on the show?
of course.
I was like,
He hasn't been excited or anything.
oh yeah, I haven't talked about you at all.
He's like, Nick's gonna be on the show. I can't wait.
Yeah. No, I was like,
Magic is
no,
cool.
I've seen. There's a movie with Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg. It's
Oh yeah. Now
You
he's.
See Me. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and in there, like Woody Harrelson kind of does like mentalism kind of stuff. And he was like following people around, like kind of learning their ins and outs. And I'm like, by the way, this guy, Nick, he's probably been following us all around. For that. I'm like, he probably knows all of our like ins and outs and our patterns of like, that's how he's going to do his tricks. I'm like, so, the last 2 months,
Like looking
Right.
around.
always looking around, like, where's Nick at?
Yeah.
These guys are in the bushes somewhere.
Exactly
It's
that.
got to be gaining information.
Yeah, I've been secretly following you. I know you better
know
than
my
you know
pattern.
yourself. I knew since I did
Yeah.
this that you would pick the
Yeah.
5 of diamonds.
You do.
So like before I was like, oh, 5 of diamonds, cool, perfect.
Oh, sweet.
And
This
like,
guy,
oh, this
yeah.
will look magic, but I've just been stalking you, and that's
Yep.
the simple
I figured as
explanation.
much, right? That's
You know,
how you do these tricks.
that's it.
You're like, this guy, yeah, he knows. He knows 5 of diamonds.
He just knows.
Right.
He does.
Truly.
That is pretty amazing. So,
You mentioned the Conjural community as something that you're part of. Is there? Did I say it right?
Conjurer?
Conjurer. community.
Conjurer,
It's-
right?
it's a Facebook group, you're saying, right?
Actually, there are a number of
Or, like,
there's like
videos?
2 Facebook groups I'm in that
Okay.
are like card workers and that sort
Okay.
of thing. And like to get in the group, they ask you like a security question that only someone who like
Kind of knows.
practices magic would even know the answer to.
Kind of cool, though. If there's
Yeah.
like a little bit of, you got to
A society
check
about it.
out.
Yeah.
Like,
And so they have like Zoom sessions where they call it like a jam session where everyone like brings his or her deck of cards and they
that's cool.
do that. And there's
Show each other some secrets and shit.
right, yeah. Like, have you considered doing this when you
Yeah,
do this
yeah.
effect? Or like, someone I recently was at a Zoom and I said, it doesn't really seem possible. to, like, pull a quarter out of someone's ear, and they're like, well, as a mentalist, that's like, you could frame it so it does seem like mentalism. Like, okay, I'm gonna use my mind to create matter that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it kind of seems possible.
Are there other groups or resources or even readings that you would recommend for somebody who's interested in, like, maybe I want to
Great
pick up my
question.
8-year-old magic career again? I mean, you never
Right?
know.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. There are. There's a book called 13 Steps to Mentalism, which is by someone, his name is Corinda. It's a very old book, but a lot of the basics of mentalism are there, like how to read someone's mind, how to do amazing card effects. But to start, if you go on YouTube, you could look up magic tutorial or even TikTok. There are a lot of people doing magic tutorials and
TikTok's got to be good. I feel like are you wanting to get on social media at all?
good question. I don't know. Like I did create a TikTok not years ago, some time ago. I haven't uploaded anything, but
Okay.
right when I was trying to like get my name out
Yeah, yeah,
there,
yeah.
I thought that would be a way to do it. I have not yet. But
But what we keep seeing is like, push all the platforms. You might get a couple people here, a couple people there, but it doesn't hurt, to kind of try to open it up to every avenue. And for you, I feel like anyone doing kind of like some things that they could do kind of quickly or like effects TikTok is king right now.
Right, yeah, and there are a lot of magic effects that are being created now that are just for online performances.
Oh, really?
Where it wouldn't work in person.
Gotcha.
So like that's where like
That kind of takes some of the fun out of it, though.
right, yeah.
Knowing that it's just literally a visual effect, like a filter or something.
Right,
fucking
yeah.
stupid shit. Like,
But that's like that seems to be the way that a lot of magicians are going. Like,
Really?
going in the direction
Okay.
of TikTok,
I gotcha.
And,
That makes
like,
sense.
YouTube, and that sort of thing.
So do you do? So you mainly like to work with cards?
I mainly that is what I like to do.
Yeah.
Just because everyone's got a deck of cards.
Yeah.
There are a lot of tricks you can do, like a borrowed shuffle deck from like a spectator.
Yeah, yeah.
And that seems like a really cool thing. And there are a lot of mentalism effects that use like a deck of cards where you say to your spectator, think of a card, pick a card, and then you just know the card
Yeah.
that they're thinking of.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
You got another one you want to try out? Maybe?
Sure. Yeah. Do you want to see one?
Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
want to
sure,
do this
yeah.
one to Richie? Yeah.
All right.
And then we'll just,
So
yeah.
let me give this a few cards.
This is so interesting to me. Tony, I don't know if you were here when he did the first one, but did
right.
you? Okay, yeah. It
So
was pretty sweet.
I want you to hold this
It
deck.
was
of
pretty
cards.
sweet.
All right, got it.
Great. I want you to think of a card. Don't tell me what it is. Don't tell anyone what it is.
Oh, this one is okay. I
All
like
right.
this
All right.
feeling.
Now, I'm gonna close my eyes because it may be possible I would see the reflection of the card in your glasses. So my eyes are closed. I'll even look the other way. Actually, let me see the deck. So if you see I want you to think of your card.
Okay.
Find your card in the deck. Cut your card to the front of the deck, as well as all the cards behind it,
Okay.
and just focus on your card because I'm gonna try to see if I can read your mind.
This is wild.
And since I won't be seeing, I just want
Yeah.
could be like, oh, just so you know, a lot of
So you
gentlemen.
want him to have the card he wants on the top of the deck.
Right, yeah, the card
Face
he
down.
wants, like, cut the cards
Yeah.
in front of it so it's closest to you. So the card's on the face. Have you done that?
So put the card facing you in the bottom of the deck, basically. Facing you? Yeah.
Right, yeah, but also take the other cards and, like, cut them in
Okay.
front of it.
All right, so I'll take my card and
Take your card
put
and,
it at the
like,
bottom, and then cut the deck in half, and then put
well,
that on top.
okay, so when you do it, find your card, cut it in two separate pieces. So your card's on the face of one of them and some other card is on the face of the other.
Okay.
Move it
Use
so
that thing.
your card and the rest of that is in the front. You've done that?
So that the card is facing the very bottom.
Right, the card would be closest to him.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So don't put it in the middle of the deck. Put it in the bottom.
Right.
Yes.
So take your card, like I want you to focus on the card
Okay.
and take, all right, yeah, it's good. Take your card out and put it somewhere in the middle of the deck.
All right, got it.
All right, now hand me the deck. Great. We won't be using this anymore.
Holy moly.
I want you to focus on your card.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Now, how impressed would you be if I could go through this deck and find your card and hand it to you?
I'd probably be really impressed.
Probably really impressed.
You know what? What I'm trying to get into is more of a propless mentalism where I'm like, I'll just tell you your card. I want you to focus on it. And I want you to, there's no way, I really don't know it now. But I'm going to ask you two questions. I want you to answer only in your head,
Okay.
not out loud.
All right.
Is your card a black card? Okay, the smirk lets me know, like, no, it's not. It's not even close. You're thinking of a red card. All right, cool. Is your card a face card? No, is your oh, okay. I thought you were just answering the first question again, but you answered no
I don't know what it is.
to another question.
I don't know. You tell me.
9 of hearts. Is that it?
Really?
Was it solid? 9 of hearts?
Impressive, yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why 9 of hearts for you?
Just a random card.
It was a random card.
Yeah.
Did you even cut it? Because I didn't think you did.
Yeah, I kind of did a little bit. I mean, you know, you play with the cards a little bit and, you know, shuffle them. And, you know.
So you're no shitting me that that was 9 of
This
hearts.
guy's impressive, man. Wow. I picked the most random card. I was going to go with the ace of spades, obviously.
I kind of
Yeah,
figured
I
you
think
would.
kind of
I
did.
saw
song, you know.
blackjack on the bottom. I
Yeah,
picked up
yeah,
his favorite
yeah.
club. I was like, okay, he picked the blackjack of some
Everybody
sort.
expected me to pick the ace of spades,
Dude,
obviously.
what?
But yeah, that's
9 of hearts.
That's
It was the
impressive.
card.
That.
That's impressive, yeah.
What?
Wow.
Okay,
I'm
okay, Nick.
A lot of people
believer out of me
A
here.
lot of people
Nick.
think they're difficult to read, but to a true mentalist,
My gosh. Okay. Who's got YouTube? Turn it on. I gotta start watching some things. I'm very impressed
That
here.
was something.
Jesus.
thank
How is
you.
that one possible?
It's not.
I don't know.
He got it. He got it. It was like the most random card.
Yeah, I would have never expected that at hearts
Yeah.
out of you. I was like,
Always
thinking,
ace
like,
of spades
he's
or like
definitely
a
gonna go
jack in the
black
box
here.
or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Damn.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. I'm gonna have to pee. I'm gonna have to take a break here in a second. Just kind of
It's too
regather
exciting.
myself in a second here. So, Nick,
Yes.
is there a movie that you have seen, like, you know, recently or before, magic movie? Because there's a lot of them out there. What is your favorite magic movie?
Oh, hey.
Magic-based movie.
That's a really good question.
Ask him so I could bail for
All right, there was sure. There was mention of Now You See Me. That's a pretty good one. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Oh gosh. So I've had a lot of over the pandemic. There was a lot of time I had to devote to magic and watch a lot of content. There's a movie on the Disney Channel called Magic Camp, which is about like teenagers learning magic. And there's one magician who's like, "Oh, I'm the coolest magician," and he's kind of a bully.
Yeah.
And throughout the course of the movie, all the kids learn magic and perform at this big last event. So it was a really fun one. And it
My
was
kids really
cool
like that
because,
movie.
Yeah. Like right now, a lot of people getting into magic are children. And there's a magician I follow on YouTube named, his channel's name is Spidey Hypnosis. And every Sunday, actually, sometimes on Sundays, he has like a live show where guests come on who are studying magic and they perform for him and all of the people viewing on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So to answer your question, Magic Camp.
Magic Camp.
Yeah,
And it
it's-
wasn't a movie, you said?
Yeah, it's a movie. I think
it's a
it's like straight for the Disney Channel
Oh, gotcha, okay.
or like the Disney Plus app.
One that kind of bothered me, and the reason I'll explain why I always bring up the Now You See Me one, the reason I liked that a lot was that, and if I'm remembering the whole plot of both of them, it wasn't that it was space magic, or it wasn't like some fruity thing at the end that was how he was doing the magic. And to give you an example, the movie The Prestige. It had
That's what I was gonna
Christian
bring up.
Bale and who was the other guy? It was Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman,
Yep.
in Wolverine. I knew it was Wolverine and it was Batman. Yeah. So
Nice.
in that one, it's like an old timey magicians, and like the one guy like figures out how to like do this pretty crazy like across the stage trick where like he goes into one booth, walks out the other booth like right away, and they're like, how the hell he does, you know, how does he do it? And it turns out at the end he's like cloning himself, and then he's like killing his clone on every show. He's like clones himself for every show, and he drowns the clone every show. So it's like it got too far like sci-fi,
Right, yeah.
You know, and we're like the Now You See Me one. It was like they kind of explained how they did it. You know, that they had magicians of different skill sets. You know, one was a pickpocket and like a really fast hands, and one's like Woody Harrelson. He's more like mentalism and like there's a hypnosis, and he might have been the hypnotist or whatever. So like they all have different skill sets, and they showed you how a team of these guys could pull off these kind of tricks. And that's why I love that one so much. And it was 2 movies actually, but it was because it was like, okay, this isn't a magic movie not relying on like technology that's not there. It's not
Right.
like we're cloning a fucking person in the 1930s. Like
A lot. Something that's a known phrase in magic is the 2 perfect principle.
Okay.
And that's what like the cloning thing has to do with a bit. Like there's some effects where you see someone perform it and instantly the spectator is like, well, I know how you did that.
Yes.
Like if I take a $1 bill and change it to a $5 bill, it's clear that whether or not the spectator is aware of it, I switched the $1
Yes.
bill for a $5 bill.
Just because you know what's possible and not possible.
Right, yeah, like, well, the only way this is possible
Yeah.
is for this to
he
happen.
didn't physically have a print and ink in his hands, and he changed it.
Right,
into
yeah. So a lot of the magic that's starting to be popular these days is magic that kind of veers away from the 2 perfect principle. Like magic that's like no one really has any idea how it could work. Like,
Yeah.
obviously I could have read your mind. I could have been stalking you for
But still, I don't
months
even
knows,
get
like,
how there's a
the
joke or like a
99s.
book that you read. It's like, oh, it teaches you how to like you have a pure person shuffle behind their back, and all of a sudden you're just pulling out a card from another deck.
Right.
like,
I
what
mean,
the
it's
hell?
interesting. It seems like you really have to walk a line between the possible and the impossible. And if you're veering
Yeah.
too much one way or another, then you lose your audience.
What?
Right, yeah.
I'm sure.
So that seems to be a talent in itself, just being
Yeah.
able to walk
and I
that
think a guy
line.
like Chris Angel kind of towed that line too far, and he got to the point where people were like, "Well, you're just doing like special effects, man. You're on TV and shit. You're probably just like using crazy special effects."
Right, yeah.
Because he's doing so outrageous shit that it was like, how? Like what? He was like hovering over the pyramid cliff.
When he was levitating.
yeah,
himself,
like
I
in the
mean,
light and shit.
Like, how do you do that?
Like,
I mean,
again,
that's
but it starts to get to a point where it's like, okay, where's the strings? Where's the like prop thing that he's standing on that you can't see because the light's shining so bright? Or like, I don't know. But he's not floating. If this guy could fly, he'd be fucking Superman. I mean, like, what are we talking about here?
I mean, it makes you think like most humans don't. We use like what, a quarter of
That's
a
what they
brain?
say.
right.
There's a-
And if you open your brain up more,
Like, what can
and
you
really
do?
think more
You get
outside the
access,
box,
yeah.
what can you possibly do? You know, I mean, it's
I've heard that my whole life, and I
same, yeah,
definitely understand
it's
that.
Really,
Yeah.
you never know. I mean, what human beings are capable of.
And there are people out there, they had a show that was like real superheroes. They talk about guys that could go, certain depths, like free diving, that like are below depths that humans can survive. And these guys have just lived in that environment and had to go fish for their, for just to live.
I think that was called
survival, and they were
Stanley
able to-
Superhumans. I think
It
was
was.
the name of the show.
What was it
yeah.
called?
Stanley Superhumans.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
there was a pain guy that didn't feel cold.
Yeah.
There was a guy
Very
like could go
interesting,
walk
yeah.
around in the North Pole and like no clothes on and shit, and he like didn't have
Hypothermia.
hypothermia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, again, mine's much stronger than we most realize, or most of us realize, and yeah, you never know. That's why I always try to, like, when I see tricks like that, I'm like, maybe this guy does have
Right.
some fucking
Because there's
power
that
I
part
don't
of
know
us,
about.
right? Because there's that part of us that wishes that was
Yes,
real.
absolutely.
Like, and maybe this is the guy,
Yes.
and maybe there's hope for the rest
Absolutely.
of us. Yeah.
Interesting one
That
that I
is
saw on
fascinating.
AGT was, and again, I don't know if this is as much as a trick or as it is some kind of oddball talent, but this guy was called the Regurgitator.
Oh,
And he would put like 4 quarters, he'd swallow them. And he'd write number 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the quarters before he swallowed them. And then he'd ask the judges to go, which one do you want me to pull up first? And they'd be like, number 3. And he like does his little belly thing and like moves his belly around. He's like, he pounds his chest, pops out the quarter with whatever number you wanted.
yeah.
And like, it's like, how is he?
That I.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, is that just like, is he really moving these quarters around his belly and he can feel it? Like, probably not. But like, damn, is it a good effect?
Yeah.
I know that. I mean,
I saw an effect similar where David Blaine was at a party
yeah, there
and
you
like
go.
he like pulled a live frog
Yes,
out of his
love
like
it.
he like regurgitated
Yeah.
a live frog. And as far as I know, that is really something that he did train
He
himself.
has
to do.
a frog living in his stomach for that trick.
Like I think I think literally he does exactly what it looks like.
Kind
And
of
it's not like
swallows
a trick.
it down
It's just, like,
somewhere.
something that he's done.
Because I've heard that one too. Yes, please.
I want to know each one of you. I want to know what the most impressive trick you've ever seen by anyone ever done is.
For me personally, I'll start this one off. Let you guys maybe gather your thoughts because I thought about this a little
Snowing
bit.
on me.
It's that. What's his name? Shen Lin.
Oh, Shinlin.
Shen Lim. It's his close-up magic, and he was waving his hands over like silver dollars, like big silver coins. And I would advise anyone that is into magic, if you haven't seen this guy, which if you're into magic, you've probably seen this guy, but check out his YouTube videos and the AGT stuff he did. It's a close-up of a black little thing that he's got, and he's putting like cards in corners and like coins in the middle and stuff, and it's just literally like a swipe of the hand, and he's turning like 1 quarter or one of these silver dollars into 4, and then they disappear back to 1, and then they like move into the corners, and it's like wild. And it was like, how is that even possible? That he's doing something like with his thumbs, like shoot these things. At least there's no other explanation for me to be like, he's some kind of quick. I don't know how it's possible, but yeah, it was the most amazing thing to me. Close-up magic, like right in your face, really blows my mind. But some of the mentalism stuff too on AGT has really done it for me too. It's just like, how can they possibly know?
Right.
And I guess a lot of my mind always goes back to like, is production helping these guys with these things, or like,
Oh, that's a good question. I can't answer it.
but to me, it's like it's a talent show. Why did they don't have any stake in X Magician's game? Like,
Right.
I guess they want the show to be better, but it's why would they help out a random guy, you know? So I don't know. Close up is the best thing I think I've seen lately. I think some of the stuff Harry Houdini used to do is pretty amazing, escape stuff. But I don't know. What do you think, Jess?
I had an experience where I've had my palm read before and my mind read before. Yes.
And your what read?
In my mind.
Mind read?
Yeah. And it was just really interesting because I know there's a trick to it somehow. At least that's what I personally believe.
Yeah.
But there were things that I was told about my career and my life, and I was young. I didn't have a career yet. That there was no way they could have known, and like my life is tracked pretty closely to what that palm reading when I was 15 years old was.
Weird.
It was
Okay.
at the Renaissance Fair.
Really?
It was
Okay.
really random.
Yeah, I get that place. That place is sweet.
Yeah,
It's almost by the
but
border of Wisconsin.
that has been like I've never forgotten that. So that really stood out to me.
That was like
That experience.
changed you a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it like I'm impressed by magic tricks and stuff, but when people can do all that mind reading stuff and like the mentalism, that's what really makes me go like maybe this is real.
Yeah.
And I think that's what good magic does.
Absolutely.
What about you, Nick?
Oh, good question. There's a magician named Derek Delgadio who has a special on Hulu called In and of Itself, and it was a show in New York City. He's a magician, and it was a magic show, but it was directed by like Frank Oz or some Hollywood director. And at the start of the show, like when people were going in, he had everyone, they had like business cards, and each business card said like fighter, lover, soldier, joker, that sort of thing. And at the end of the show, he said, okay, so everyone has a card that has some kind of adjective on it. Now, if this descriptive word is something that you feel you identify
Passionate
with, I
about
want
it.
you to stay standing. And then he went through the entire audience of people who were standing there, like 100 or more people. And he said, okay, now you're a runner and you're a lover and you're stubborn. And like he knew for everyone in the audience exactly what card they had picked and was in their pocket. And
Really?
Yes.
Like a mass scale.
See, that's the stuff that I
It
think
was
is
wild.
just
Really, it was unbelievable. And the whole show was really well done, I thought. And
That's cool.
That was the most mind-blowing magic
That sounds
I've
pretty,
ever
yeah.
seen.
You throw a couple on there. Yeah, just keep us some kind of fire going here. Yeah. We were trying to let it die out on purpose a little bit, but no, throw in a couple now. We're about to lose them completely, so yeah, you're good. Throw a couple more on there just
Thank
to
you.
try to see if a fire's still
Thanks.
there.
We appreciate
Here's
it.
Tony coming in. We might be throwing him in on the panel at some point. Tony's got his Hawaiian shirt on. He's looking dressed for the weather. Absolutely.
I think it's
rocking and
here.
rolling.
Thanks.
This guy's a trooper. Yeah, we finally got some shade here. Luckily, we've gotten this thing in, but I think Jess's eyeballs aren't getting roasted out anymore. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
good.
I'm much better.
You're a little more comfortable now.
Although these Ray-Bans, wherever they are, here they are.
There you
These
go.
have been
Yeah.
Choice.
Ray-Ban is a new sponsor of ours, so
Choice.
thank you, Ray-Ban, for providing Jess with those Ray-Bans. Very thoughtful of you on this sunny day. So, Richie, I kind of asked you that question earlier, but I don't know, since you've thought about it, I mean, is there any, like, David Copperfield, like, makes a horse disappear or some shit? I don't know.
I don't
Or was
know.
it more tigers I think he was dealing with? Not as many horses.
I watched a guy pour a 12
I thought you
pack
said
of Bush
horse, so I
beer
was
into
lost.
a bucket one time and chug it in like literally a matter of a minute and 15 seconds. That was pretty impressive.
That's a magic trick in its own.
yeah.
It was impressive. I
The
mean,
real magic is, like, was he standing the rest of the night?
not really.
I can dig that one. Yeah, I can dig
It
that.
just depends on your alcohol tolerance, you know.
I do think that stuff like what David Blaine has done, and again, I don't know if there's more skill in being able, like, he tricks his mind into, like, dealing with elements, but at one point, I think he was in New York in, like, an ice block or some shit. Yeah,
Like
he
when
lived in it.
when he does that, he's really doing that sort
He's
of
not,
thing.
like, in there with a heater. It's
Yeah. Like he was buried.
he's putting his body through crazy stuff.
He was buried alive for weeks, and for that he didn't eat because he didn't want to like have to like defecate.
Yeah.
But and he used the bathroom in like a tube there where the urine went elsewhere.
Jesus.
But he really did it.
It's got to be bad for your system. Not, going number 2 for that long.
And most recently he did a thing
I
where
guess if
he,
you're not eating, though.
yeah. And most recently he did a thing where he had a weather balloon and he was in the desert like
Okay.
as high as you could be, And he literally did that. Like, he had experts to know like what was safe and like how to not injure himself and what to do if something went wrong.
Talk about another guy that's just been like pivoting, like finding his thing and like where can I get in to
Like
fit in.
pushing those limits, like
Yeah.
what you were saying, Richie.
Yeah. No, it's really interesting now because again, Houdini, from what I know of him, I know he probably was a master in a lot of different types of magic, but from the thing I always remember when I learned about it as a kid was like the escape stuff. You know, it was like getting out of this trunk that's sunken into a pool with, you know, however much time you got.
Right.
And they talked about Bob James again from Bob's Magic Shop. Shout out to Bob's Magic Shop one more time. Lombard on St. Charles. Go check him out. He was telling me that he's like, Houdini had to be like bulked up. And guys at that time didn't like bodybuild. They just, you know, they worked out. Some guys are fit. If you're in the army, you ran a lot and, you know, you did some push-ups and shit. He's like, but there wasn't a whole lot of bodybuilders out there, you know, or especially performers that were like caring about their strength. And for that guy, you know, he's doing all these escapes and he's like, so a lot of them, he's like hanging from his feet. So just the core strength it takes to like reach back up to your feet if you're hanging upside down by your feet, like takes a lot of muscle.
Absolutely.
And if you're trying to be quick and like sit up and be able to sit there for a second and like deal with your feet and you're upside down, like you better have a strong core because that shit ain't working out if you haven't been doing your crunches.
Right, exactly.
So it's impressive that like he was kind of before his time or maybe just harder worker than everybody else. It's one of those things that comes down to, you know, when I look at, again, magic or any industry, really, it's like how much time are you willing to put forth? Are you willing to do stuff that other people aren't?
Right.
Yeah.
That's 100%
You know?
true. And especially with like mentalism, like sometimes personally as a mentalist, I like take risks and
As you
sometimes
should.
it'll pay off and sometimes it won't. Like I was out with a friend not long ago and we were at a bar and without looking at the deck, I like just took a card, put it on the table. I said, what card do you think that is? And she said Queen of Spades. It was a Queen of Spades.
No way.
Truly. And it was like a 1 in 52 chance of that happening, which is like around 2%. And sometimes it hits, rarely. And when it does, you're like, thank you.
I have a tip bucket right over there.
And if it doesn't, like, well, what do you expect? Like,
However much cash you have in your pocket, I would appreciate it.
so sometimes, like, I'll be in the middle or in the process of performing an effect, and I'll see, like, oh, they didn't got the deck exactly as I asked.
Yes.
Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. And a lot of
Is
times
that
it
what you're
does
thinking when
work.
I was... he was 100% on my shit.
It was like,
knew.
okay, like, I mean, because I had been stalking you.
Yes, no, you knew.
I knew you would take the
So
5 of diamonds
clearly you knew.
before even you knew.
Yes, absolutely.
So, that wasn't a trick. I really did know that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you doing this studying and
Right, yeah, of
the
course.
literal legwork to
You know, I've had
keep
a lot
up
of
with me.
time.
I walk fast. I'm a fast walker.
Yeah, I
So
don't
it had,
know
to
it.
be, had to be tough to keep up with
I had to
me.
get a segue to keep up.
Do
Things
you,
aren't cheap.
do you do a lot of performing at venues or is it more street performing?
Oh, good question.
Sounds like recently. I mean, probably haven't had a lot of choices there.
I haven't. I did over there, like over the last year, I did some online shows for friends and friends of friends. I performed at an in-person event for a 1-year anniversary of the pandemic back in March. And one of my neighbors, well, I live in Lakeview, but I used to live in Logan Square, which is our neighborhood,
nice area, yeah.
Chicago neighborhoods. And one of my neighbors in Logan has a party at his garden every Friday, and I've been emceeing the party and like performing mind reading and magic, and introducing the musical guests.
Cool.
And I guess the party progresses.
Badass.
And I'll walk around and I'll do some magic because my friends.
That's
are there.
great. Absolutely. And it's one of those things where you just keep putting yourself in the right circles.
Right? Yeah.
You know, keep dealing with people that are, you know, having a show around a bonfire in their backyard. You know?
Exactly.
Or, you know, you're going around emceeing and doing tricks and things. Like, you never know where your next gig's going to come from.
That's true.
Or, like, what hand you're going to shake next. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, again, it's all about who you know and not as much of what you know all the time.
yeah.
You know, it's nice to know something. But, yeah.
I'll have to try that sometime. Good idea. Thank you.
Well, clearly you know a few things.
Right,
I
yeah.
mean, God dang.
It was a passion of mine as a child, and I'm glad to have had the opportunity to get back into.
Well, you've wowed us here tonight. I know that for sure.
I'm impressed.
Oh, thanks. And
Yeah,
Jess, I haven't
absolutely.
done anything for you. Do you
Yeah.
want to see something?
Yes.
Great. So in this one, actually, take the deck.
Let me
Okay.
hand it to her. Can I touch it, or is it going to match up the juju?
It's not like do whatever. You can shuffle if you want.
Okay. Do you want me to shuffle it?
If you want. You don't have to, but
That's okay.
it's an
I won't.
option. So I want you to
I don't
think of a
screw it
card
up.
that you really like.
Got it.
All right, I'll find it in the deck and take it out.
Okay.
Not the ace of spades.
All right, you can do the ace of spades or the queen of hearts.
Oh,
you could.
Richie,
A lot of
that's
people
your
use
card.
those exact
The
cards.
ace of spades.
But I won't-
Ace of spades. oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
did you say you can or
you can.
Okay.
Any card you want.
Any card you want. He's looking at your shirt right now. He's like, she's in a suns and stars. I know what she wants.
He might.
Yeah. Really quickly, shout out to JPL Property Services. We need some new firewood soon.
Okay.
I know you said you were
have
looking
it.
for
Should I
So
do
take
with
the
it?
card out and hand me the rest of the deck.
Okay. Keep it.
Yes, please.
Okay.
So I'm holding this.
Yep.
Okay.
And I have the card.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can. Yeah, you can. You can hold it. So
I can hold it.
actually, sorry, you can hold the deck.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll hold it.
I want you to focus on the card. Hold on.
Okay.
I cannot see. It doesn't even matter if I
Probably
can.
better
see
on
the
your
card.
eyes to cover him right
Should
now.
I
anyway,
show the camera
smoke.
what I
Yeah,
have?
show the camera. Show everyone
That
the
one?
card.
Sure, yeah, go there.
This
Yeah.
is a card that has like a meaning to you. You picked it. It's not some random card.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right. So turn it so I can't see it.
It's turned.
Great. Perfect. I want you to put it on top of the deck.
Okay.
Great. And hand me the deck.
He just turns over the top card. He's like, I totally know it.
Yeah, well, I don't. I really don't know what card it is. So I'm going to hypnotize you and you and
Perfect.
you and everyone at home.
Perfect.
I want you to think of your card.
Got it.
Could be that one. Could be that one. You know what? There's no way I can know this. But I'm about to hypnotize you to forgetting the card. So not only do I not know what it is, you also wouldn't recognize it. So I'm going to count down from 5. When I snap my fingers, everyone, including the viewers at home, will have no. They'll think they know the card, but if they see it, they won't recognize it.
Gotcha.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've all been hypnotized, everyone.
I feel it.
So because you've been hypnotized, you would probably say that this isn't the card.
Nope, definitely
Nope,
not that
That's
one.
not it.
Good.
Not what I was thinking.
It worked. I'd probably say that's not the card.
Am I supposed
Actually,
to
I
answer?
know for a fact that's not it.
It wasn't what I was thinking either.
You've been hypnotized. That's not it.
It's not it.
Of course not. I'm so good at hypnosis. It may look as though I'm messing up the trick. I guarantee you that's not it. And I tell you, you'll probably say that's not it either.
Not it.
Great.
Nope.
So your card Great. is in here. Right here. All right, you've still been hypnotized. So it's not it. That's not it. None of these was your card. I'm so good. Like your card's in here. I'm gonna break the trance. And the card was here the whole time.
Is this real? I didn't get to see the card.
Is this your card?
I don't know if it was.
That's not my card.
It's not the card. Let's do this one more time. I'd like to line it back up. Sure. I'd like to line it back up.
Sure.
I'd like to line this back up.
Sorry about that. That happened.
No, I'd like to see it.
See,
again.
sometimes like risks are taken and
Hey.
it doesn't work out.
Let's try it.
Huh?
He showed it to you earlier. It was in the deck. He showed it to you earlier.
He said I was going to forget it. He did say I was going to forget the card.
So you might not have known if that was the right card or not.
Who knows?
Let's try this one.
Yeah, that happens.
You feel comfortable doing this one more time?
Yes, I absolutely do.
Sweet. Let's do it one more time.
Pick your card.
Yeah, she's going again.
Just come and pick a card?
Yes.
Okay. If
That's good.
I actually do know it, I will say it.
Hey, Tony, think you give me old. Thank you.
All right. Can place it on top of you.
You got to take a double check this time. Make sure that we knew what the card was. I actually don't know what it is, but
All right. I'm gonna give him a shuffle.
by the way, Jay and Joe Create. Jay's coming out very soon.
And-
Tattoo episode. Thank you, Jay. York Furrier. Fine outerwear.
Okay.
Since
Fantastic fur since
1931.
1931.
Yeah, I think one of these is
Justin,
it.
where's your fur hat right now?
Probably.
It's so sweaty for a fur hat. Up and over. Give me a lobber. Oh, I want a full-on lobber.
Oh, gosh.
There we go. Okay, we're good.
Thought I might hit the roof, but people can throw better than
We
I
do this every weekend. We're practiced.
All right, so let's not. All right, I'm gonna hypnotize you and everyone at home to forgetting the card. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's not the card. Cool. Perfect. Didn't think so. That's like the whole trick. Like this is it. Not it. That's not it. Gosh, that was really supposed to be it. Just kidding. And that's not it.
No.
That's not it.
No.
Okay.
No, she's like, yeah. I'm like,
I
what?
need to make sure this time. Yeah.
Right. Oh, of course. Hey, I remember that from before. Okay. That's not it. Wow.
No.
That's not it. None of these was it.
No.
Guarantee you it is right here in this pack. I'm gonna break the trance. And that's
That's it.
That was it.
Yeah. I forgot to check the camera, but it was the 3 of spades.
oh,
All right,
perfect.
dude.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a
so much.
believer. I'm a believer.
Oh, thank you. I
Dude,
didn't,
that's some good stuff.
thanks
I'm
so
really,
much.
I'm very, very impressed by this. I don't know why.
Oh, well.
And I'm like looking at his hands in my hands. He's got something hitting the room.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know about you. I don't know about you, Nick. I gotta start
Yeah.
following you. I need
Oh,
to start
yeah.
following you.
Yes.
Right.
I'm
yeah.
more about your life.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
How do you feel about that? I'm gonna start following you around.
Do whatever you like.
Where can people follow you if they want to see more?
Right, yes.
great.
I've got a couple of, let's see. My mentalism Instagram is Nick Green Mentalism. That's
Yep. Followed you over there,
NICKGREENE Mentalism. And then my
There's an
Facebook.
E at the end of green.
That's true.
Yes, okay.
For, I don't know, anything he wants. And then I'm on Facebook at Nick Green. Well, if you look up Yay, Nick Green, YAY, Nick Green, that'll come
Okay.
up.
We'll get
It's
you.
like if you just look up Nick Green.
So you trying to do
This
like
private line.
parties, like
All right,
gatherings?
yeah.
Are you trying to, yeah.
Good question. I've been interviewing to be a mentalist at restaurants. Like walk around.
That's
mentalism.
badass. Great place for it.
Yeah. A lot of restaurant managers don't seem to think they have a need for a mentalist.
Oh, I would be.
I think
I would be
they do.
all in. If
You
it-
were in the
I
restaurant
would,
business.
dude. I mean, we would try to, as servers and bartenders, be a little entertainer. But if you got a
Right.
legitimate entertainer walking around,
Yeah, like
I mean, that
Yeah.
that makes my meal better.
Right, like
He does
restaurants-
that trick when I'm sitting down for a meal.
yeah.
My meal is better.
You're not like, where's my food? You're like, oh my god, how'd you get my
Yeah.
card?
Oh, time passes way better.
Right,
when you're eating
yeah.
on food.
And like they have like DJs and that sort of thing. So
I think any restaurant that gets busy and like Saturday nights that like you got people sitting there going like, "Where's my food?" Like
Right.
I'm getting pissed. Like you got a guy walking around doing card tricks. You forget how long you've been sitting there real fast.
And I think you might be more
know what I'm saying?
likely
I
to
think
go
that's
to that
smart.
restaurant.
right, yeah, and then you're like, yeah, even if the food's not great.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yes.
the food was so-so, but that magician.
that dude was badass.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
going back.
That Nick Green.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can't imagine sitting down for a meal though and seeing one of those tricks and being like, it would have been my. What do you say? Smoke. Oh,
hey,
let's do a
that's a-
pop-up bar.
That's a great idea.
A restaurant.
I'm available.
We just have magicians walking around.
Yes.
Have you got a business plan together for this yet?
That's it.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. This is just
Tony's trying
like,
to steal our talent out of here.
this backyard is a magician trap. Like, they just wander in.
Yeah.
No,
he's-
I got the trick already. Basically, the server comes up to the table and says like, "Oh, what did you order?" And he's like,
Oh.
"Oh, I ordered the steak." And he's like, "Oh, it's right in front of you." And you look down and it's there.
Oh,
You're like,
dude,
"What?"
now you're talking.
That'd be great.
You're gonna want a dessert after that too. Yeah.
Or like
yeah.
hypnotize the people like, where's my food? What do you mean? You ordered 30 minutes ago and you ate it. You said it was delicious.
Yeah.
Now you owe me
Loved it.
$50. Okay.
There's no food. There's no food license.
Yeah.
There was never any food.
Exactly.
How was your drink as well? Oh, I had a drink. Oh, you loved it. Absolutely.
You've been
You had a Mai
hypnotized.
Tai.
Yeah.
We gave you extra rum.
You even, yeah.
Nick's
That
air
is
sandwich.
hilarious.
That's fun.
So, I think we're floating around about an hour and a half here.
Oh, really?
Floating around about an hour. I did want to get out some of the other sponsors. I've been doing some intermittent sponsor drops.
Sure.
I mean, if Nick's feeling up to it, I don't know when he starts to like, if Magic starts to wear, it's like,
yeah,
you know,
sure.
Wolverine, like, can only pop out the claws so many times
I can do another.
until he starts to get.
Right. Yeah.
You were right. I was hoping to keep going long enough to get Tattoo Jimmy out here. He's an oddity stores owner in Villa Park, Villa. He's gonna come out for a tattoo episode. It's kind of where he more lines up. His name is Tattoo Jimmy, not Magic Jimmy. But he's an oddity store owner. I think he kind of lined up with Bob more so I was trying to get him on. Shout out to them though. It's on Villa, right underneath Josephine's. They're in the basement. So if you're going to Josephine's, you only know Josephine's if you're a degenerate in Villa Park. But no,
Hey, that's Richie's
that's just a
hangout.
joke.
I'm well aware
That's
of that
just a
place.
joke.
yes.
It's a fine establishment. But yeah, go below
Augustine's
there.
is
There's
okay.
an oddity shop, and Tattoo Jimmy does tattoos and has some cool stuff down there. Apparently, I haven't actually seen the shop, but apparently has some of Bob's Magic Shop's old furniture and cabinets in there.
Wow.
So like when Bob was leaving that location, Tattoo Jimmy was looking for some stuff, and they actually traded some stuff, and they're actually pretty good friends. So
Nice.
I was hoping to get that little back and forth between them tonight, but Jess and Richie have done better than those two maybe would have ever done. So
Oh, I
so,
don't know about that.
yeah,
I've been screwing
no,
up
it's
Magic
coming for
tricks, so-
Jess and Richie jumping on last
Yeah.
minute here. We knew Nick was going to bring the heat, but
Oh, I think that's a fire in the sun.
absolutely. Oh, I'm
Did you
always
say
trying to throw
that
out
you
the fire
have more?
points.
Yeah, sure. I have another.
Okay.
You got another?
Yeah. So make sure all the cards are here. Yeah.
They're not. I still like 5 when you were looking. And they're in my pocket.
Well,
I'm
that.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. I didn't see.
That'd be crazy if he just pulled cards out of
Yeah,
your pocket
sure.
right now.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, you want to go in, Rob?
Yeah.
Rob is a big one. He was like, he
I'll
watches
switch
the
over,
Penn
Rob.
and Teller stuff.
Oh yeah,
you wanna
the
jump
Fool
up?
Us.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
your
Same.
this is your skeptic right here.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if you could get him, you get all of us.
So,
Yeah, I'm the easiest one to sell. I love this stuff.
all right. So, I'm gonna give you these cards.
Okay.
I want you to deal them into my hands.
Like one at a time.
Yeah, I can stop whenever you want, and you can do some from the middle if you want. Okay, like you will be dealing all of these again, just so you know.
Put them all in.
No,
No, so
but
you're gonna
all
have
of
to
these
deal
cards
with
you'll be
like
dealing
all
again.
Deal a few out, leave
So,
them with
whatever you want.
Okay. That's
All right, cool. I can take those.
Okay. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yes. No, just
What do
keep
you do
them
with your feet?
upward.
All right. So now I want you to take these cards.
Okay.
Deal them on my hands. Alternate hands. So actually,
one in the-
like
hand?
one there, one there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's follow the rules, Rob. God dang it.
And keep going.
All of them?
Yes, please. All right. I want you to take the top card on one of those stacks and hold it to your chest.
Okay.
Great.
I'm supposed to look at it.
You can look at it. I'm turned around.
You
So,
can-
like,
do you look
I don't
at
know
it?
what it is. I'll show everyone, show people at home.
Okay.
Great. Now put it in here somewhere. Like it doesn't really matter.
Anywhere?
Yes.
Put it in the middle of the deck?
Yes. Or anywhere else you want.
Sure.
And hang on to the deck.
Well, so remember.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I want you to focus on your card. Oh, okay. Cool.
He got you.
So just looking at you, I know it's not a face card. I know that for sure.
Oh, I'm not supposed to do anything.
See, you're a really good mentalist. We're terrible at following directions. That's the real problem.
That happens. Okay, so it's not a face card.
Don't nod.
Not an ace. It's a number card. It's somewhere in the middle. I'm so close. Let's see. I'm gonna ask you a question. Wait, it's not a black card, is it?
No.
Okay. 7 of Hearts.
Yeah.
No
Yes.
way.
Yes. 7 of hearts.
Legitimately 7 hearts.
7 of hearts. Yeah.
Wow,
I don't have it to show you, but it was the 7 of hearts.
Yeah, you showed it. We saw
Oh
it.
yeah, everybody sees it. Yeah, that's right. There's cameras here.
I tried to zoom in the last second to get it on my camera, but I didn't get it on mine. But
Wow.
these ones kept up.
So that's it. That's
Wow.
what I mean.
Jeez. Holy.
This is amazing.
Holy cow.
You've exceeded my expectations here.
Thank you so much.
Exceeded expectations. I thought maybe you'd have one. I didn't think you'd get us all.
I'm a believer. You got me.
Perfect.
And he's
You got me.
wonderfully charismatic too. Like
Thank
you so much. I
you're
really
a
appreciate
showman. Yeah.
Like Tony, you want to come in, jump down for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Tony, jump in. I wanted Tony just to see if he had any other answers to the same questions you've already been asking as far as.
Again.
Not exactly. I think there might be
He's
more
not going to
left
tell you
over.
what kind it was, though.
All right. Okay, now think about your sandwich. I'm sensing there was bread. Was
Did
there?
he get it? Did he get it?
I'm done here.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Pull your mic.
Oh, yeah.
So really quick, while Nick's setting up, I almost went the wrong name here.
All right, yeah.
While he's setting up, when you were growing up, did you see a magician? Anything kind of spark your interest when you were growing up?
Dude, I had this one guy who was like a jump rope master, and it was kind of like magic.
It was kind of like magic.
Because that was in 2nd grade.
Wait, are you talking about the guy that came to all the assemblies?
Yes.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, but he would blow up this
That was
giant
magical.
balloon, and he would get himself in this balloon,
Oh.
fill all the air up, and then he would do like, he would jump the rope in the balloon.
In the balloon.
And I thought that was magic. I was
very
like,
magical.
what?
Magic is a definition of a different definition.
I don't know.
for everybody, so
I can't.
It was magical.
I can't think of too many magic shows or anything. I mean, I
I
like.
love that story. That's perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, Axis. How's it going, buddy?
you know, I like all the classics like Chris Angel.
All right, yeah.
yeah.
So you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I would watch, or David Blaine.
Right,
We were
yeah.
talking a little about
Yeah, it
David
was
Blaine
like
earlier.
one of the first funny memes is what the F David
All right.
Blaine?
What the F?
What the F? You ever
Like-
see that video?
Yeah,
It's
right.
So funny.
Look in your pocket. Like, look at your
in your
driver's
pocket.
license. Call your mom. Like, look at your high school yearbook. You're holding the 8 of hearts. Like,
Yeah.
what the F, David Blaine?
What the hell?
Right, yeah.
Dude, it was so funny.
I am 100% familiar with that.
That's hilarious.
That was like it was probably like one of the first like meme like video. I don't
Yeah.
know, it was I don't know when it was.
time
Like,
ago.
It was really good.
2008 or something.
Like, I swear to God, if it's the 8 of hearts, I will. And like David Blaine has the whole the whole poster board with exactly everything
so
he's
funny,
saying.
So funny.
All right. So, if you want to shuffle these cards or give them a quick mix, whatever you want.
All right.
Give
There
me a
you
little
go.
quick mix.
Oh, okay, cool. So, as you've seen, I can read minds.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm going to show you some cards. I'd like you to take a look at one of the cards that I'm about to show you
Okay.
and just keep it in your mind. Select it, but only with your mind. This will just be between us. You won't tell anyone else what your card is.
I got it.
All right. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Tony's studying.
We got a card?
He takes this very seriously.
Perfect. That's cool. I'm glad to hear it because that's what was supposed to happen.
He knew you were going to do it that early.
Yeah.
He knew.
Just give this a couple cards. Now, a lot of times with Magic, like for Jess, she took a card out of the deck and put it back in, but now you're just thinking of one.
Wow.
Give them another card. So I'm going to fan through these cards. And if you see your card, I want you just to take a photo with your mind.
Okay.
I don't want to like gauge your reaction. So I'm going to turn. I'm not even going to look at the cards. I just want you, like, if you see your card, focus on it.
Okay.
Have you seen your card?
No.
Yeah, man. It's all right. That's fine. All right. Could you hold the deck?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So I'm going to try to find your card.
Okay.
No, it's probably not that one. Nope. I'll stop right there. Now, you're thinking of a card. No one in the world knows what it is other than you.
Yes.
For the first time ever, what is the card you're thinking of?
Jack Diamond.
Would it be amazing if this was it?
That would be it. Yeah, I would probably. Oh my God! Wow.
Wow.
I have no idea how you did that.
Thank you.
I have it. Yeah. I have,
Thank you very much.
I just
Amazing.
saw it. I have a bar by my place called Diamond Jacks.
Oh, hey.
We're not sponsored, but that's what I saw.
He was following you around. He was following you
Got
around.
yeah. I've had a lot of free time.
That's it.
Got a brand new Segway.
He knew that you come by every once in a
Yeah.
while.
Dude,
He
that's
figured he
cool.
probably should follow you
Yeah,
around for a while.
I saw you when I said he doesn't look like the type to actually
Wow.
shuffle a deck of cards. So I'll give him the option to shuffle it. He won't. I know that.
That's pretty
And
cool,
I
man.
just placed the Jack of Diamonds at the top.
That's
knew.
pretty wild.
You knew.
Wow.
That's all it's. Hey.
You've done a lot of great research on
like-
us. there, Nick.
Yeah.
Oh my.
That's
Well,
wild.
This is mind blowing for
saying-
me.
So good.
I want to give a shout out to some of the ones we haven't given a shout out to yet. More Brewing Company in Villa Park on Villa. Thank you, Ross, for everything you've done. I'm going to be hitting you up for some more beer here soon. Maybe give us something for the summertime. It's getting hotter out here. It's bright. Give me something refreshing.
Yes.
I think he's called his beers highly crushable before, so maybe we'll go with that again, giving me another crushable one. But also like to say thank you to Brittany over at Consume Cannabis. I'm coming in here soon. I know you said you were on vacation. I'll be coming back in. We'd love to partake in some more of your products as well over there at Consume Cannabis. If you're going to consume cannabis. If you're going to consume cannabis. You guys, don't judge me. Cut that out. Cut that shit out. Cut it. Anyways, I appreciate y'all being back out here tonight.
Can we talk about Claremont a little bit too?
Do it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay, good call
so-
there. Jump on.
So we've got a show. We've got a show that's coming up here pretty soon. I don't want to give too many details because it's kind of a surprise thing. But we've got a band that we're going to be. They're doing an album release party. We're going to be sharing a little more details about it as it comes. Enough's Enough. If anybody's a fan of the very famous band from the 80s and 90s, they're doing an album release party finally, and it's going to be at the Claremont Collections Museum, our favorite place in the world. So.
Collections.
Yeah, so we're going to be down there live streaming for them, and we're going to be showing you everything they got, some cars, and mainly the band. So stay tuned for that. What's the date on that? That's
June 26th.
June 26th, that's coming up. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So that's a big one. Claremont.
That's
thank
going to be
you
an
very
awesome
much.
one. We got some
Claremont,
cool people stopping
Todd
out there. It's going to
Cosley.
be a great opportunity for us as a team here. So we're really
Yeah.
looking forward to that one.
Yeah, thanks again, Donnie V, Todd Cosley, you guys. So that's coming up. And then obviously we got a whole bunch of more episodes coming
Bob
up,
Olson
too.
as well has always been a big contact for us over there at Claremont Collections. And also, I'm happy you did that because next week we are having our female business owners. Before we did a business owners in general, the only ones that made it out in like 10 below weather when we did it in the snow were the
snowstorm.
male ones that we invited. So now we're going strictly female business owners next week. We got a fantastic panel coming out. So check that one out. And then, in the future, we got a couple other awesome episodes coming. We got a first responders coming up. We found a new panelist for first responders tonight. Just so happens to be Nick's significant other, Jean, over there. So she's going to be joining us. Always find a new panelist out here for Bonfire Banter. Basement Boys, thanks for watching. Keep subscribing.
Basement Boys.
Keep tuning in. Keep
know who
liking.
that
Keep sharing.
Right.
and keep stoking those fires.
Yeah.
All right.
Bonfire Banter. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Oh.
Bonfire Banter. We want to give a special shout out to all of our sponsors. Since day one, York Furrier has been helping us out, supporting us on social media, gave us some fantastic hats. What could be better than that? Keep me warm all winter long around this fire. Since 1931, they've been a locally owned and operated purveyor of exceptional furs, fine outerwear, and unique accessories. Check them out in downtown Elmhurst on York Road. The finest fur establishment, furry, that you're going to find anywhere in Chicagoland area. That's where the stars are going when they're filming in Chicago. They're going to York Furrier. So check them out. Thanks again for all your support. More Brewing Company. Big thank you to them. They've been letting us try some of their amazing craft beers. They're out in Huntley as their main establishment with most of their brewing equipment on Auto Mall Drive. You can also check them out in Villa Park on Villa. My new favorite beer is actually by them, Partially Cloudy. So thank you so much for turning me on to this one, and thanks for your support, More Brewing Company. If you're looking for unique craft beers and artfully crafted food, go check them out. Again, supporting local business is what this is all about right now. JPL Property Services, keeping us warm around the fire with that full face cord. Thank you so much to Jim for dropping that off. If you're looking for anything from landscaping to snow removal, look no further. Jim will get you taken care of. JPL Property Services. Check them out on Facebook. And lastly, Jay and Jill Create. That's our art director, Jay. Jay and Jill Create. Pretty much print you anything you want. T-shirts, mugs, ornaments, gifts, whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for something creative, give them a call. Jay and Jill Create. Check them out on Facebook as well. As always, thank you to all of our sponsors. And here's to us, hoping we can get a few more. Bonfire Banter. We'll see you soon.